Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ahmad Agustiawan, Mr. Pri, Mr. Sukron, and all of my friends in this room. Thank you for your presence in this conference today. First of all, I would like to thank you for the opportunity become a moderator today. My name is Raditya. In this session of presentation, we will discuss about optimistic scenario projection analysis for renewable energy power plant development, including tidal project in Larantuka, Nusa Tenggara Timur. And with our presenter, the first presenter is Mas Bayu and Mas Ferry. So, without further ado, let's get started to Mas Bayu dan Mas Ferry. You can start now. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Mas Radityo.
Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Yes, thank you. Today we are excited to share with all of you our presentation on optimistic scenario projection analysis for renewable energy power plant development, including tidal project in Larantuka, Nusa Tenggara Timur. Mr. Bagas is our leader and I am Beradus as a member. We would like to thank you our esteemed lecturer, Mr. Ahmad Agustiawan, ST, MSc, PhD, and also Mr. Prianto and Mr. Sukon for their help in preparing this event. Next. This is our outline. The first is introduction, and then policy and regulation, technical concept of the project, energy demand and renewable energy potential in Nusa Tenggara Timur. 5 is the scenario, 6 is energy analysis, and the last is conclusion and expectation. Okay, reported from the website of the new Renewable Energy and Energy Conservation Information and Investment Service created by Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources. The potential for renewable energy in NTT reached around 12,857 gigawatt. Still, according to Lintas EBTKE, here is the potential for renewable energy in NTT province. According to the type of source, water energy, 624 megawatts, together with Bali and Nusa Tenggara Barat, mini hydro and micro hydro energy, 95 megawatt, solar energy, 7.27 gigawatt, and wind energy, 10,188 gigawatt, and the last is geothermal, 1,223 gigawatt. Okay, the image depicts Indonesia's project energy landscape in 2060 under the ambitious zero emission with carbon capture storage scenario. This vision is crucial for achieving Indonesia's climate goals and reducing carbon emission. By 2060, the national energy mix will undergo a significant transformation with a substantial increase in the share of renewable energy sources such as solar, wind, and geothermal. To facilitate this transition, Indonesia will also need to invest a robust and efficient transmission infrastructure to connect energy producing region with energy consuming area. This will ensure a reliable and sustainable energy supply across the country. Okay, the pie chart illustrate the diversity of power plant type in Nusa Tenggara Timur in 2021 with a total installed capacity of 448.92 megawatts. This dominant power plant type is gas-fired power plant, counting for 40% of the total capacity. Diesel power plant follow closely behind at 37%, while geothermal power plant and microhydro power plant contribute 3% and 1% respectively. Other power plant types, including solar panel plant, wind power plant, and biomass power plant, make up the remaining 50% of the energy mix in Nusa Tenggara Timur. This data highlights the reliance of fossil fuel for electricity generation in the region, while also showcasing the growing contribution of renewable energy source. For this pie chart, illustrate the potential of renewable energy source in Indonesia, totaling 26 and 26,190 megawatt. Geothermal energy dominant the renewable energy mix, counting for 27.77% of the total potential. Solar and wind energy contribute 20.87% and 13.67% respectively. Other renewable sources such as biomass, hydropower, and ocean energy have smaller but significant contribution. Next. Okay, the Oosterschelde Tidal Power 2 project is a successful example of harnessing tidal energy for electricity generation, located within the Oosterschelde, the storm surge barrier in the Netherlands. This project utilizes a series of Tokardo T2 turbines to convert the kinetic energy of tides into clean electricity with an installed capacity of 1.2 megawatt. The project generates approximately 1.4 gigawatt hour of electricity per year, enough to power 100 Dutch households. This renewable energy source contribute to reducing greenhouse gas emission and support sustainable development in Netherlands. Oosterschelde Tidal Power 2 or OTP2 is a tidal power project, is one of the opening of the Oosterschelde storm surge barrier, which is part of the Dutch Delta Works. The Oosterschelde is an estuary with the highest tidal movement in Netherlands. The velocity of the flow is between 4.5 and 5 meter per second. The tidal power project contains 5 turbines of 250 kilowatt installed power each. The total power plant has 1.25 megawatt installed capacity, which means power generation for about 1,000 Dutch household. Next. The tidal power plant Larantuka is promising renewable energy project located in the Larantuka Strait, Flores Timur, Nusa Tenggara Timur, Indonesia, with an estimate flow velocity between 4.5 and 5.0 meter per second. The project has a suitable potential for power generation. The installed capacity of 30 megawatt is expected to produce approximately 80 gigawatts per year, electricity per year. The estimate budget for the project, including the construction of the tidal power plant and surrounding infrastructure, is around 225 million US dollar. Next. This is the location of Larantuka tidal power plant in the Larantuka Strait, located between Flores and Adunara. Next. Okay, the Indonesian government has implemented various policies to promote the development of renewable energy source. The National Energy General Plan, or WEN, serves as the primary guideline to energy development, setting target for the new and renewable energy mix its province, including Nusa Tenggara Timur. To encourage investment in an RE project, the government offer a range fiscal incentive such as its income tax exemption, import duty reduction, and value added tax benefit. Additional, the government support NRE development through program like the Clean Energy Partnership Program, the Mini Hydro Program, and the Rooftop Solar Panel Plant Program. This initiative aim to accelerate the transition to a more sustainable and energy efficient future for Indonesia. Next. And then for the regional government in Indonesia, play a crucial role in supporting renewable energy development. Its region, including Nusa Tenggara Timur, has its own regional energy general plan or RUED, which provide a detailed roadmap for NRE implementation. This RUED outline the region renewable energy potential, set specific target for the NRE mix, and establish development strategies. Additionally, regional government issue various regional regulation or Perda to facilitate NRE development. This regulation cover areas such as spatial planning to accommodate NRE project, incentive for investor, and environment management. This combined effort from regional government and contribute significantly to Indonesian overall progress in transforming to renewable energy based on economy. Okay, the tidal power plant Larantuka project encompasses a comprehensive infrastructure development. In addition to the tidal power generation facilities, the project including the construction of 4 tidal bridge element, which is equipped with 8 fish flow tidal power turbines. This turbine will harness the energy from the tide to generate electricity. To facilitate transportation and connectivity, a civil bridge will be built to connect the island of Flores and Adonara. Furthermore, land reclamation effort will be undertaken in Larantuka to ensure the smooth transition from the bridge to the mainland. Next. This image depicts the design of the tidal power plant bridge, a key component of the Larantuka tidal power plant project. The bridge will serve as a platform for hosting the tidal power turbine, allowing them to efficiently capture the energy from the tides. Okay, the added value of the tidal bridge consists of the reduction of installation and maintenance costs, the improvement of the power output. The tidal bridge will reduce installation and maintenance costs within 40 until 50% compared to turbine which are placed the sea bottom. This is mainly achieved by the clever concept of using a larger structure to mount multiple turbine on the electric infrastructure as a surface and is fully integrated. The tidal bridge improve the power output with 10 until 25% because the turbine are placed near the surface where the velocity of the water is higher, resulting in more effective use. Okay, this image, despite an artist's impression of the tidal bridge, showcasing its innovative design and functionally. The top portion illustrate the bridge as a roadway, allowing for transportation across the waterway. The bottom portion highlight the submerged turbine that will harness the tidal energy to generate electricity. The unique design demonstrates the bridge dual purpose as both a transportation infrastructure and a renewable energy source. The video displays an artist's impression of the turbine box installation process for the tidal power plant Larantuka project. The turbine box, which hosts the tidal turbines, are shown being lowered into the water and attached to the submerged piers of the tidal bridge. This illustration provides a visual representation of the construction and installation phase of the project, showcasing the complex engineering involved in harnessing tidal energy. Next. Again, the video illustrates the design of the fish flow tidal power turbines, which are specially designed to minimize harm to marine life. The turbine feature a unique flow path that allow fish and other aquatic creatures to safely pass through without being injured. This innovative design demonstrates the project commitment to environment sustainability and responsible energy generation. Yeah, this video is illustrate the unique design of the fish flow tidal power turbines, showcasing their ability to safely accommodate even large marine fauna. A truck is passing through the turbine flow path, demonstrating the spacious and minimal risk of harm to aquatic life. This feature highlight the project commitment to environmental sustainability and responsible energy generation. Next, Mas Bayu.
Okay, thank you, Mas Ferry, for the opening presentation. And I will continue the presentation I will talk about energy demand and renewable energy potential in Nusa Tenggara Timur, Indonesia. As you can see, the project electricity demand in Nusa Tenggara Timur through 2050 measured in gigawatt hours. Based on the display data, the total electricity demand in expected to increase significantly from 1,406.6 gigawatt hour in 2022 to 13,469.9 gigawatt hour by 2050. In detail, the demand-based sector is as follows. Household electricity demand is projected to rise from 878.6 gigawatt hour in 2022 to 9,831.7 gigawatt in 2050. This is significant rise in electricity demand reflect the economic growth and population increase in Nusa Tenggara Timur, which necessitates an expansion in energy supply capacity to meet this needs. Nah, the renewable energy potential in Nusa Tenggara Timur from the table above shows the potential. The total energy potential reach 23,812 megawatt with an installed capacity of renewable energy now is 29.22 megawatt on an average utilization rate of 0.12%. Overall, Nusa Tenggara Timur has significant potential for renewable energy. The level of utilization remains very low. The geothermal is 1.99%, and micro hydro is 5.47%, and last is ocean energy is less than 1%. And the scenario that we have and simulated we have two scenario. That first is BAU scenario or business as usual scenario based on RUPTL in Nusa Tenggara Timur with the availability of fossil energy is in 2022 is 96.4%, and in the 2050 is 89.9%. And the second scenario is optimistic renewable energy scenario based on potential energy by RUED in Nusa Tenggara Timur with the availability of fossil energy is in 2022 is 96.4%, and in 2050 is 36.6%. Okay, we move to energy analysis based on the output result in the BAU scenario. The large percentage of electricity generation comes from diesel power plant, followed by oil and gas power plant, and then coal power plant. From this data, it is evident that fossil energy still plays a dominant role in supplying electricity in the province Nusa Tenggara Timur. Furthermore, the utilization of existing renewable energy potential has not been maximized as shown in the image above. Nah, the problem in BAU scenario is scenario based on the RUPTL in Nusa Tenggara Timur. It can be seen that 2036 in East Nusa Tenggara Timur will experience a shortage of electricity supply, which will continue in following years. This may be caused by the underutilization of existing energy potential or the lack of available technology in Nusa Tenggara Timur. By 2050, Nusa Tenggara Timur is projected to experience an electricity supply shortage of 4,199.5 gigawatt hour. So we make some optimistic renewable energy scenario based on the output result in the optimistic renewable energy scenario. The large percentage of electricity generation comes from solar power plant and then diesel power plant. From this data, it is evident that renewable energy now plays a large role in supplying electricity in the province Nusa Tenggara Timur. However, the utilization of existing renewable energy potential is still not maximized, as shown is image above. As we can see from the table that only small portion of the renewable energy potential in Nusa Tenggara Timur is being utilized. If potential can be maximized in the future, it is possible that Nusa Tenggara Timur could supply its electricity needs independently using only renewable energy power plant. So there is no problem in optimistic renewable energy scenario because we have made some solution to increase the use of renewable energy and reduce the use of fossil fuel as the source of power generation in the province Nusa Tenggara Timur. As can be seen from our analysis and simulation that Nusa Tenggara Timur does not experience an energy shortage by utilizing the available potential energy source, maybe we can go back to previous slide. The renewable energy potential in Nusa Tenggara Timur, if we can maximize the potential in the future, it's possible that Nusa Tenggara Timur could supply its electricity independent only using renewable energy power plant. Okay, about the graph above illustrates, we talk about emission that for global warming potential or GWP from direct emission of all fuels and all greenhouse gases. Two scenario compare like PAU or business as usual and optimistic renewable energy. In the PAU scenario, carbon dioxide or CO2 emission can continue rise significantly, reaching over 4,500 metric tons of CO2 equivalent in 2049. Meanwhile, under the optimistic renewable energy scenario, which assume a more aggressive adoption of renewable energy, emission remain lower than BAU. That's still on an upward trend, reaching around 3,000 metric ton of CO2 equivalent by 2049. This graph highlights that although the optimistic renewable energy scenario can cap the rate of emission growth, both scenarios exhibit upward trend and in emission through 2049. Okay, the conclusion maybe can be read by Mas Ferry.
Thank you, Mas Bayu. The conclusion, we have three. The first is renewable energy potential. The project highlight the significant potential for renewable energy development in Nusa Tenggara Timur, with tidal power being a promising source. The second is infrastructure development. The project involves the construction of innovative infrastructure, such as the tidal bridge and its integrated turbines, demonstrating the potential for combining renewable energy generation with other infrastructure needs. And the last is challenge and opportunities. The analysis of different scenario underscores the challenge in meeting future energy demand in Nusa Tenggara Timur. Even with ambitious renewable energy target, it emphasizes the need for a comprehensive and integrated approach to the energy planning and development in the region. And the expectation, we also have three. The first is increases renewable energy adoption. The project will significantly contribute to Nusa Tenggara Timur renewable energy mix, reducing reliance on fossil fuel and promoting a cleaner energy future. The second, for economic benefit, the project is expected to stimulate local economic growth through the job creation, infrastructure development, and increased tourism. And the last is environmental protection. The use of fish-friendly turbine demonstrate a commitment to minimizing the project impact on marine ecosystem, ensuring sustainable energy generation. Next. Okay, thank you. That's for our presentation.
At the time we will back to Mas Raditya.
Okay. Okay, thank you for the presentation. Now it's time for discussion session. I will open one session only with two questions for the audience who wants to ask a question, you can raise your hand and please come forward and using the microphone.
Cek satu. Okay. Thank you, Mas Ferry, Mas Bayu for the presentation. May God bless you with good health and happiness always.
Thank
Okay,
you, Mas.
my question is, what are the key technical feature of the tidal power plant project in Larantuka, and how does it address environmental concerns?
Okay. Thank you for the question.
Direct.
You guys want to you want to answer the directly or not?
Okay, we will to ask immediately.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mas Farhan. I'll try to answer for the key technical feature. Yeah. Yes. Maybe we can go to slide 16, Mas Bayu.
Okay.
Okay, we have four item for the key technical features. The first is for tidal bridge element. This project incorporates four bridge like structure that host the power generation equipment. And the second is 32 fish flow tidal power turbines. These specialized turbines are designed to generate electricity from tidal movement. The number three is civil bridge component. In addition to power generation, the project includes a bridge connection the island of Flores and Adonara, serving a dual purpose of an energy production and transportation infrastructure. And the last for the land reclamation plan on Larantuka to ensure a smooth transition from the bridge to the land. And for the question regarding the environmental concern, we have five, yeah. The first is fish-friendly turbine design. The fish flow tidal power turbine are specially designed to allow safe passage of marine life, including large marine fauna as a big truck. Yeah. The second is renewable energy source by harnessing tidal power. The project reduce reliance on fossil fuels, thereby lowering carbon emission. And then minimal visual impact. The integration of the power plant with bridge help minimize additional visual impact on the landscape. Number four is multi-purpose infrastructure by combining power generation with transportation infrastructure. The project maximize utility while minimizing overall environmental footprint. And the last is support for broader renewable energy goal. The project contribute to NTT transition away from fossil fuel, supporting larger environmental protection effort. Maybe this for the answer, Mas.
Okay, thank you, Mas Ferry.
Okay, thank you, Mas.
Okay, thank you. You can go back. One more question. Okay, you can.
Thanks for the opportunity. Okay. My question is, based on the presentation you delivered, NTT has a significant potential for renewable energy. If this potential is maximized, can it be used to meet the electricity needs in NTT?
Thank you. You can answer the question.
Okay. Thank you, Mas Iqbal, for the question. I will try to answer your question. Previously, we have to try and conduct how if the renewable energy in potential in Nusa Tenggara Timur if maximally used. Nah, as we can see, and in the last section of NZA optimistic that this sound of using renewable energy potential of maximal, and we have to shut down all fossil fuel, and we have in the last year of 2015 that renewable renewable energy that we get is 14,253.9 gigawatt hour as demand in the energy is sorry only 13 gigawatt 13,000 gigawatt. So the answer is yes, we can. But regarding we have not share, we have not have the opportunity to present the NZA scenario because we have no information about readiness of existing technology that we have provide the renewable energy, maximal renewable energy potential.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you for the answer. Okay, thank you for the question and answer from audience and from presenter. And thank you for the presentation today. I will close this session and continue to the next session. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.